welcome back to Play and Trade Guitars. I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. Everybody needs a semi-hollow guitar in their collection. The famous 335 is amazing, but if you dress that up and give it a few more flashy cosmetic appointments, you get the 355, and Epiphone has done an amazing job delivering the 355 inspired by Gibson Custom at a price tag of $12.99. I'll tell you everything you need to know about this new guitar when I put it on the bench and pull it apart, and then of course we'll plug it in and play it. But at the top, if you're in the market for this guitar or any other gear, click to buy new gear using our link. You're gonna get fast free shipping, easy payment plans. It makes buying new gear super easy. And Europe, we didn't forget about you. You can use our Toman link. All that is down below in the description or pinned in the comments. We're also giving away an American-made Martin acoustic guitar when we hit 100,000 subscribers. So join us, the community of guitar players and traders. Hit subscribe now, turn on notifications, and sign up via Gleam. All right, without further ado, let's take a first look at the Epiphone, inspired by Gibson Custom, 1959 ES-355. By the way, 355, that used to be the price of these guitars, not anymore. All right, check this out in cherry, also available in white. And I'll tell you what, Epiphone already does an incredible job delivering budget-friendly, semi-hollow guitars. Because let's face it, even a 335 from Gibson, that's like $3,500 if you want the gloss version. And you gotta have one in your collection. It is an incredible sound. And the way they dress this up, 355 appointments, split diamond, mother of pearl, headstock inlay, real mother of pearl block inlays on an ebony fretboard. I mean, they really went the extra mile. All that, and then you also get Gibson Custombucker pickups. That's a $500 set of pickups that the custom shop uses in reissue guitars, PAF style. Incredible amount of value here. Great sounding, great feeling guitar. I actually like the neck shape. This is gonna be a slightly chunkier 50s style profile. We'll get measurements on all that when we hit the bench. But it looks great, and you know, Marty McFly famously time traveled. He played an ES-355 in Back to the Future, but this kind of has that vibe to it. I like it. The gold hardware, just a beautifully dressed up semi-hollow guitar from Epiphone. So let's hit the bench and take a deeper dive. All right, so the real headline here, you've got the Gibson-style open book headstock on an Epiphone, and they even went the extra mile, mother of pearl split diamond inlay, my favorite inlay, and the Epiphone's in mother of pearl as well. You got gold hardware, so you've got a set of gold Grovers on here. They've got this emblem that symbolizes the Epiphone and Gibson Custom collaboration. I like that they're doing that in the series. They've got what they call a VOS finish, which is confusing. It's vintage original sheen, but the way I describe it is kind of a matte or semi-gloss finish, somewhere between satin and gloss. And it has a little bit more of a satin playing experience. We'll get measurements on this 50 style neck in a second. But you got beautiful binding, and you got an ebony fretboard. Like a 335 dot would probably typically have rosewood with dot inlays. Here you have an ebony fretboard on the 355 with beautiful mother of pearl block inlays. Just completely gorgeous. Coming down, you've got the bound body, a set of Custombucker humbuckers, PAF style, expensive top-notch pickups that they used in these series, and really cool. ABR1 style bridge, classic controls, and that pressed maple laminated top, which for a semi-hollow guitar, it's part of the look, it's part of the sound, and you can actually watch how those are made in our Gibson factory tour. It's a really cool process. But it looks great. Let's get the strings out of the way and take some measurements. That comes in at 1.67 inches. You have a first fret of 0.87 inches, up to a 12th fret of 0.99 inches. Body thickness, 1.71 inches. Flipping up these Custombuckers to take a look. We do have a long neck tenon on this guitar. You can see Custombucker and patent applied for stamped on the back of these. They've got the braided wire and everything, just like the true Custombuckers. They are, in fact, authentic Custombuckers, $500 a set if you buy those from Gibson. Pretty impressive that they went with this set, but they sound fantastic. You'll hear that when we plug it in. Standard controls, let's go ahead and flip on the multimeter and get a reading on the pickups. We're at 7.6 in bridge, 7.6 in neck, 3.7 combined. We've got a weight on this one of 8 pounds, 9 ounces. We'll call it 8.5 pounds. Flipping it around for an initial reaction. I mean, of course, you have the projecting volume, given that this is semi-acoustic and semi-hollow, and that's nice. I always think a semi-hollow not only sounds fantastic plugged in, But it's kind of nice to just have something you can pick up and play on the couch and get enough volume out of it. And that's definitely there. 50 style neck definitely feels a little bit thicker. It's not the thickest semi-hollow neck that we've measured. Sometimes that 12th fret reading can be over an inch. And this was in the upper end, yeah, of thicker neck territory. So just be aware that it does have a thicker neck. I personally like that a lot. So I think it feels great. Setup is nice. Everything looks fantastic. If you're in the market for this guitar, do us a favor, buy it using our link. It helps us make these videos and you get all the benefits I told you about before. And I'll tell you what, this is my favorite part. We're gonna plug this guitar in. I'll show you clean tones, we'll dirty it up, and then I'll let it sing behind a track. Stay with me to the end. I'll give you a final score along with my raw, honest reaction of playing this guitar. And drop a comment as we go. I'll see you on the other side. Let's get plugged in. All right, Epiphone's ES-355 in the Inspired by Gibson Custom collection. It feels great. I'll tell you what, it sounds fantastic with that set of Custombuckers. You stuck with me to the end, so I'm going to give you my final score and my raw reaction. I based that score on 3 categories: overall playability, overall sound, and overall value. Starting with playability, I do like this satin feel from the vintage original sheen, kind of a satiny semi-gloss finish. The neck feels great. It is a thicker 50s profile neck, which I can appreciate. I like that, particularly on a semi-hollow. I want to feel like I'm driving a big boat of a car. It's not really a speed machine, but don't forget, it is a double cutaway guitar, one of the earlier double cutaway guitars from Gibson, in fact, which is easy to forget. But it makes it very playable. I'll tell you, the ebony feels fantastic. An ebony fretboard on this also adds to the playability. I got nothing to complain about when it comes to playability. It felt great. If you like a thicker neck, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 9.1 in overall playability. When it comes to sound, there's nothing like a semi-hollow guitar. You get that semi-acoustic thing that just kind of wraps itself around the tone, and it really has a singing quality all its own. And the fact that they have the Custombuckers on here is really the big add and really the big headline. I love the sounds. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.2 on overall sound. And then overall value, this is where it's actually going to score highest in my opinion, because to try to get a 355 from Gibson, I mean, you're talking about an expensive custom shop level guitar at this point. This one's got the same pickups. It's got a lot of the high-end appointments. Now that they have the Gibson headstock in here and this true mother of pearl split diamond with the blocks, the ebony fretboard, you're getting the full treatment at a fraction of the price. They probably could have charged more for this guitar. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they priced it right where it's at. With the hardshell case, with all this, I'm going to go ahead and give this guitar a 9.5 in overall value. That's going to bring the overall score for the Epiphone Inspired by Gibson Custom ES-355 to 9.3. It's actually so far the highest rated of the group. Now I will tell you, some of that comes from the value driver. It's the fact that this guitar, what you're getting for the money relative to what it would cost to go to the custom shop and get something similar, I think they hit it out of the park. Drop a comment, let me know what you think of this guitar and the rest of the Inspired by Gibson Custom collection. You can watch our other videos across the series of guitars. And when you're ready to buy any of it, click to buy using our link. It helps us make these videos, and you get fast free shipping, easy payment plans, and all the rest. Find that pinned in the comments or down in the description. For Play and Trade Guitars, I'm John. That's Zach behind the camera, and this has been Play and Trade Guitars. Thanks for hanging out with us.